Welcome, everybody, to such a lovely day. Today's morning inspiration is the beauty of meditation. The beauty of meditation. Why is meditation such a beautiful thing? Because it has a purpose. The purpose of meditation is for us to begin to feel and sense the rhythm or the vibration, the undercurrent of the law. It has a feeling. Well, it moves, so it must have a feeling. And so when you meditate, what you are doing is opening yourself to feel it. Why is it important that you feel the vibration or feel the sensation or feel the rhythm of the law that is all around you? You are in the thick of it. And the reason why you want to feel it is so you can align yourself with it. You see, the law has a palpable sensation, which means you can touch it. You can sense it, you can feel it, you can taste it, you can smell it. Good God, it has it, right? And so when you lay there or you sit there in the stillness, that is what you are doing. Because you begin to feel you. Huh? You begin to feel you, the shape of you, the form of you, your breath, your thoughts. You begin to feel you. But the longer you stay there, feeling you begin to feel something that is not you, something that runs through you, something that is around you, something that moves when you move, something that bends when you bend. That's what you feel. That, my friends, is the law. You see, we want to look at meditation as this chore. I have to? Really? Yes. It has a bigger purpose. It's just that the name meditation has lost its meaning. Because we say it so much, it becomes this thing that we just say. But perhaps if we come at meditation with a new eye, with a new eye. You see, if you spend that time in quiet, as I said, you will feel your own self. Because that's where we all start. You start, but you have an itch. You're like, oh man. And then something bugs you and you're like, you get distracted. That's all you. But if you sit with it, you lay with it, you recline with it, you walk with it, you will begin to get a sense of what is around you. It's, they call it the ether. It's flexible. It bends when you do. You can touch it. Yes? You can. If you go somewhere and the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, what do you think you're feeling? You're feeling the vibration of the law. That's what you're feeling. So the next time you are intrigued, to meditate, now you have a broader understanding of what the purpose of it is. When Dr. Joe Dispenza says to you, um, feel, what does he say? Shanice, you feel beyond you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. He says feel beyond you. But in order to feel beyond you, you must know what you feel like. And so that is why the time is essential for you to just recline. It doesn't matter what you hear going on around you. You could hear the cat outside. You can hear the dog, you can hear the birds. Hear them until you don't. Because what's happening is, I think there's two things happening. There's a broad spectrum of something happening where you get a sense of what's going on around you in nature. Your neighbors, the cars driving by, you might begin to sweat, you might begin to get a little cold. That's broad. But then a narrowing begins to happen. You begin to hone in on something. You see what I'm saying to you? The only way for you to grasp it is to do it. Yeah, but Angela, what if I'm doing it wrong? We have to get past the right or wrong. There's no right or wrong way to sit there and hush. All you're doing is sitting and hushing. You're not doing anything else. Even if you have your earbuds in and you're listening to a brainwave entrainment, you must grasp that at some point, the brainwave music that you are listening to begins to fade. It will begin to fade. Because in your narrowing of focus, you expand to what is around you. And what is around you is that ever so subtle movement of the law. You will begin to feel it. You won't be, listen, you can't help yourself. You'll begin to feel that undercurrent of the law because now you can differentiate between you and it. So that the next time you recline, there's an anticipation. There's a, ooh, I remember what that felt like. And the time it takes becomes shorter. It's always the first couple of times when you recline or you sit there and you close your eyes or your eyes are open. It doesn't matter. It will take you a couple tries, a couple practice runs. So because it's not in vain, you understand? It is in learning. When you learn what you feel like, you will begin to sense what it feels like. And when you get a sense of what it feels like, my, my, Johnny Gill today, are we? When you feel what it feels like, you want more of it. Because you'll begin to realize that you now start to move with it. And another funny thing will happen. When you walk around, you're going about your day because you spent time sensing what it feels like. You are now moving with it. Whether you go to the bathroom, whether you're driving the car, whether you're walking down the street, it doesn't matter what you do from there on in because you can't unfeel it. You can't unfeel it. Now you are intimately acquainted with that sensation of the law. And when you are out of alignment with it, you'll know. You'll know because it is a not so good kind of feeling, right? So you see, meditation is not just something that we do to pass the time. There is a purpose, a true purpose. Because when you begin to feel the undercurrent of the law flowing through you and around you, and you begin to move with it, do you think now that you have to do a technique? No. I tell you, the purpose of a technique is to get you feeling you so that when you feel the law, you know the difference. But we get caught up in the doing instead of the comprehension of the why we do. You can go to an ashram somewhere. You can talk to any Tibetan monk you want. You can go anywhere in the world that you want. The result will be the same. You've got to differentiate the difference between you and the sensation or vibration of the law itself. You have to. Ask anybody with arthritis. When you see the clouds, you're like, oh Lord, and they grab their knees, it's gonna rain. How do they know it's going to rain? Because they feel it in their bodies. They know what their knees feel like when outside is dry. And they know what their knees feel like when outside is damp and it's going to be rain. Well, seems trivial, doesn't it? But it is not. The whole point of meditation, the whole point, the whole point is knowing the difference between you and the law. There is a palpable difference. So I encourage you today to take some time. Take some time now that you know the reason why you want to take that time. Why? You know, for people who channel, Esther Hicks, they get into this zone, I suppose you can call it. Why do they do that? Because they've learned the difference between themselves and whatever entity they channel. They feel the difference. They feel the difference. So you and I have got to be able to feel and sense the difference between us, our physical form, and the vibration of the law. When you feel it, you can't unfeel it. Which means, you've seen those memes, yeah? You can't unsee it now. It is now forever what? Imprinted upon your subconscious mind. So it doesn't matter where you go, what you do, who you speak with. You're moving with the law. You are in alignment with the law. And because you are in alignment with it, what does it do by way of correspondence? As within you, so must you experience on the outside. So now you begin to become, you encounter other harmonious things that are in alignment with the law. That is what you do. And so then we stop saying things like, well, I got to raise my vibration. I got to get into alignment. Hey, we are always in alignment. Wait, what? Yes. The law is always working. It doesn't take a break. So you're always in alignment with it. Whether your experiences are good, bad, or indifferent, you are in alignment with the law. It is, however, in our best interest to live from that place. Because when you are not in alignment with the law, it doesn't feel good. And we all know what humans love. We love to feel good, don't we? And there's nothing that tops that sensation of being in alignment with law. That's the whole purpose and the whole reasoning behind meditation. In the focus, you expand. Eh, I don't get it. Well, you are singularly focused on the breathing, perhaps, the rise and fall of the chest or abdomen. Or you are focused on that gentle rhythm of your heartbeat. Either or, but you're focused on it. And in that focus, you know what you feel like. But then you expand, you grow beyond it. And when you grow beyond it, you begin to sense something. But don't take my word for it, I can only tell you. But in order for you to know, what must you do? Practice. That is how you will know when you are in alignment. Instead of, man, I don't know, I feel a certain way. You see, we think we have to fight and struggle. You don't. You just have to recognize, where are you? Where is the law? You are in the midst of it. You are in the midst of it. Go outside when it's raining. Go outside when it's raining. Who's in the midst of the rain? You are. You. You can feel the difference between your skin and when the rain hits it. Just like if it's not raining and you go outside, you can't see the mixes of gas outside. But let one of them be off, and you'll know, won't you? Some of them are much more stealthy than others, carbon monoxide. You won't even know. But that's why I say to you, you've got to be able to differentiate between you and the law. It is around you, everywhere. You're breathing it. My favorite line, you think that's air you're breathing now? Right? It's the law. But because we are so busy, we're so busy doing what? Surviving. We're so busy running around. We're so busy doing that we stop being. Because it is in the being that you know. KNOW. That is the whole purpose of meditation. Let's take a moment to welcome everyone into the space. Meep, I see you. Benji, hey, hey. Twitter, I see you. My beautiful friends here in Twitter. It is so good to see you this morning. Fanbase, let's see who's here. Zola, Yolanda, Matthias, Miss McQueen, Oracle Treehouse, Coco Love, My Melanin, and KZ. Y'all are here in the fanbase world. It is so good to see you. Thank you for the love. YouTube, who's here? We've got Anot, Cyber, Marjorie, the better man. Hello, Brian. We also have some folks who've not made themselves known in the chat, and that's okay. I see you too. So today the encouragement is this. Spend some time in meditation. Spend some time in meditation. It is not something we do to pass the time. It is what we do to get a sense of who we are, what the law is, and are we in alignment with it? That's what we're doing. It's quite like a brand new baby when they're on your chest. Oh, yeah, they're cute. They're kind of wiggly. But they have a keen sense of hearing and feeling and smell. They can smell their mother's milk. And they work their way towards it because they know the difference between their mother's heartbeat and their own. But she also knows them. It is all a sense of getting to know you, getting to know all about you. That's what it is. That is the purpose of meditation. So when you're going, as Neville says, you go with a purpose. Go with a purpose. What is the purpose? Feel you. So when you feel it, you know. Now here's the thing. When you feel it, the law, it brings peace. Even though it is exhilarating, it is peaceful. I don't know why. It just is. It is exhilarating because you're like, ooh, oh, this is nice. I've never felt this one before. but it brings peace because you are where you should be. A sense of being home. Cyber, I try I try to just meditate, but something always comes when I sit in the silence long enough. Ezekiel tier biblical visions. It's okay. Sit through them and go beyond them because they come, right? Remember, the focus brings about the expansion. Go through them. Go through those visions because you'll remember them, right? You'll remember them. They won't leave you, but go through them. And when you come out on the other side, that's what you're looking for. Ah, Ty's tidbits. I see you too. Does this make sense to you today? Because I know sometimes we can feel overwhelmed, you know? We say things like, oh, where am I going to find 10 minutes? I always fall asleep when I try and meditate. There's always something, isn't there? There is. And there always will be something. But go through it. I'm not just talking to you guys this morning, I'm also speaking to me. Trust me, when you have time to sit there in the quiet hospital room, you learn a lot of things. Oh, yeah, you do. Because you've got nothing but time. So I kind of sort of get it. But like I said, things will show themselves, things will come up to distract. But perhaps if you see them as not being a distraction, like walking along the pathway and you hear the buzz of the bees, or you see the light glitter off the wings of the dragonfly, you're just walking through. You're walking through. That's all you're doing. And that is the encouragement today because sometimes it can be overwhelming. Sometimes it can be. You sit there, you recline, and you're like, oh, I can't get my mind to stop. Listen, the mind can't stop, but it can, however, be focused. Put it where you want it to be. Do you want it to be on your inhale and exhale, or do you want it to be on the sound of your heartbeat? What do you want it to be on? Give it something to focus upon, and it will do the job. Because that is its function. Its function is to think and to move. You know the law of vibration. Nothing stands still. So how can the mind? However, you can put it somewhere. And if it tries to wander away, bring it back every single time. What do they call it? Monkey mind? The mind begins to be like a barrel of monkeys, and you're like, "Ooh, ooh, 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 ah," and it's just going everywhere. You're thinking about what's for supper. You're thinking about, oh, did I do that? Like, did I finish this? Oh, it's everywhere. But give it a singular focus. Give it something to do. And because it is now fully engaged, if it wanders, bring it back every time. And the more you bring it back, the sooner it will stay where you put it. Hmm? We are asking the mind to do something contrary to law. Law tells you everything moves, nothing stands still. But we want to quiet the mind. Okay. Let's see how that works. You can't quiet it, but you can focus it. And when you give it something to focus upon, it's fully engaged. Like the baby, fully engaged. Now you can go about and do something because the baby is engaged. Its mind is elsewhere. So now you can sit there. This is the key. This is the beauty of what we've been given. But we think, oh, I'm just going to go and meditate for 20 minutes. And you've never meditated before. One practices meditation. by doing it. You practice. If it's 3 minutes, did you keep your mind where you put it for that entire 3 minutes? Or did it wander away? If it wandered away, that's all right. The point of the matter is, it gets easier for you to put it there and have it stay. That's usually the beginning. That's the beginning. But you see what happens to us when we go through the day. Somebody's calling your name over here. Somebody's calling your name over there. You're scrolling somewhere. You've got a conversation, a full-blown conversation in your head. That's what happens. We get pulled to and fro like Gumby. We're pulled to and fro. But be encouraged to know that your mind will stay where you put it. It'll stay. It will stay where you put it if you put it somewhere. You can't argue with it. Oh, why can't I focus? When you haven't given it a focus. This is the whole point. Once you get that part, now you can move on to the next level. What is the next level? Beginning to sense yourself. Oh, but you mean I have to sit with myself? Yes. You want somebody else to come along and sit with you and you can't even sit with yourself? You want to have company, but you can't be your own company? Come now. You're your best company. You are. It is simply a matter of practice. There's nothing to be afraid of. Oh, but what if I meditate and something happens? Yeah, you know how we hear that from church folk all the time. Even though the scripture says, meditate on the word. What does meditate mean? Focus. That's why. But what if, what if something tries to take over my body? Stop it. Nothing's going to come and take over you. Mind you, these are all valid questions, right? But we don't go into a quiet place with fear. Why not? As within, so without. There is nothing to fear. It is like looking into your own eyes. Are you afraid of your shadow? Are you afraid of who and what is looking out of your eyes? No, you're not. Same for meditation. That's it. So, today be encouraged to know that meditation is a beautiful thing and it serves a purpose. What is the purpose of meditation? The purpose of meditation is to discover you, so that when you discover the law, you tell the difference between the two. And then you can tell the difference between the two. Now you begin to move in the alignment that you desire to move in. You are always in alignment with law. How so? Because whatever is within you is what you experience. That predominant thought, that predominant way you have of living. As I tell you, in traditional Chinese medicine, when you look at the tongue, the way that tongue is shaped tells you the constitution of the person you're looking at. It tells you how they think on a daily basis. It tells you what kind of emotions they frolic with on a daily basis. Same for their pulse. It feels a particular way underneath the fingers. It tells you who they are and how they've been living their lives. That's what it tells you. It tells you all about them. That's what it does. It tells you, and you can predict exactly the trajectory of their life if you pay attention to what their body is telling you. because they're in alignment with law. They are in alignment with law. We all are. The only question eh, is that the alignment you want to be in? Is it beneficial or is it harmful? Is it beneficial or is it harmful to you? If you spent a lifetime of worry, fear, fretting, you'll end up with palpitations. You know, when you can feel your heart beating. Your heart's beating right now, but you don't know unless you put your hand on your chest. But palpitations, when you get a palpitation, oh, you feel your heart beating. It just is like, whoa, what was that? Yes, it's telling you something. It is telling you something. And the longer you continue with them, untreated, there's only one trajectory. But it takes time to get there. So that's why we think, am I okay? And we ignore the subtle things. So meditation allows you to feel the subtleties of the law at work. I gave the example earlier of wherever you are and the hairs on the back of your head stand up, there is a vibration present that you can sense. You walk into a space and your whole body breaks out in goosebumps. Hello, there's something that you're feeling, a very subtle thing that you're tuned into. Meditation will help you develop it. That is the purpose. So you see, meditation is not a chore. Meditation, spending time in the quiet. How do you do it? You start, sitting up is usually the best. Because if we lay down or we recline too much, we have a tendency to fall asleep. But if you sit down, feet flat on the ground, you know, palms up on the thighs, just sit there, nice clean posture. And give your brain something to do. The best things would be either inhale, exhale, or the beating of your heart. If you get quiet enough, you'll hear your heart beating in your ears, and you will also hear that swirl of blood in your ears. If you get quiet enough, then that's where you put your brain to focus. And it may wander away. Did I turn off the stove? Is it time to pick up the kids yet? You'll get those things, and they're okay. But give the brain something to focus upon. And as you allow it to focus there, if it wanders, bring it back. Every time it wanders, bring it back. Just bring it back. And the more you bring it back, sooner rather than later, it will stay where you put it. And now that your brain is focused on the breathing, the body will begin to relax. It'll get to a place of ease. And you'll begin to feel, because you'll get an itch somewhere. It's like, oh man. You'll scratch it. That's your body. That is your body. But then something else happens. You now go beyond your body. Because you're in it, you can feel it. But something expands. And when it expands, you begin to feel something that's not your body. And when you feel that, stay there. Just stay there. It'll bring you much peace, much calm, much serenity. And so the next time you go to meditate, it'll be a lot quicker for you to feel you and it. What is it? It is the law. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. As within, so without. As above, so below. Everything vibrates between two poles, a swing to and fro, creating a rhythm, an ebb and a flow. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. A projection of the will, masculine, giving life, giving form, feminine. That is what you'll begin to feel. You'll begin to feel it. Cyber, if it wandered before I got to the top, I brought it back again and I trained it. Oh, Cyber, I have to go back to read the other one. Are you talking about the vibration you feel? Neville says it's God clothing himself in you, stretching and getting comfortable in there. It is a bit scary, I must admit. Mm. So if it wandered before I got to the top, I brought it back again, and I trained it as you say. You would, yes, you train it like a horse. The mind, yes, the mind can be unruly. And it's not that it's unruly, it's doing what it has been designed to do, to move. The law of vibration tells you that everything is moving, nothing stands still. So if the mind is going to move, give it a direction to move in. Because if it goes,
Angela,
yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask you, can you elaborate on the moving meditation? Like for some people, sitting still isn't work. I always tell people, you know what I'm saying, find a meditation like walking meditation, walking the labyrinth, or just walking period. I know I used to go into meditation when I wash dishes. Like, can you elaborate on that or
Yes, that is a very beautiful question. The whole point of what you're doing when you wash the dishes, right? You know the feeling of the soap on your hands, you hear the water, you feel as you move across the plate, the forks. That's you. But at some point, that stops becoming the predominant feeling. You've now moved from there into something else. That's the difference. All you're ever doing with the meditation, whether you are walking or painting or drawing, you are feeling you first. You must always go through you first because it's your body. So you begin to feel the charcoal in your hands. But then something happens to you, something bigger you expand into so that the charcoal feels so much further away, but yet you're still drawing. But now, where is that space that you've just expanded into? That is the space where the law is. The invisible now becomes visible. So it doesn't matter whether you walk or you sit or you recline. The whole purpose of the activity that you do is to give you the sense of you, and then you expand from there. You begin to feel where you've gone. There's a difference between the two. Like for people who are drawing and they're so in it, they're wrapped up in it. When they come out and they're done, they're like, holy cow, I drew that. Where did they go? Clearly they were there. They were just immersed in the law itself. The,
super focused?
yes, you are so focused like a laser that you have expanded. If hmm, it's like moving in slow motion. You're moving in slow motion, but yet time hasn't slowed down. The only way is to do it. The only way is to do it so that you grasp what is being said. I can explain it to you, but you've got to do it. When you're walking the labyrinth, your brain is engaged with left, right, turn, left, right, turn, left, right, turn. Your brain is engaged with that. The body is engaged where the brain is, but something happens to you as you walk the labyrinth. You expand. I don't know how else to say it other than that. Like it's you don't come out of your body, right, Shanice? Talk to me.
Right, right. I was gonna say, yeah, you're right. It's like you hit that sweet spot.
Yes.
Time, it's what I call it a sweet spot. Yeah, it's a sweet spot. You don't time is moving, but you don't realize, like when you were saying about when you paint the picture, you're in it, you realize, oh, I painted that. You didn't even realize the time had gone. So yeah, there's a sweet spot. You're on point, definitely.
Exactly. It feels like it feels like hours, but it's only been a half an hour to 40 minutes. How do you explain that other than you expanded? You moved beyond your physical body. You did not come out of it. You just moved beyond it. You were moving on a different plane altogether, a different vibration altogether. And the only other vibration that surrounds us is the law. That's where you've been moving. So, cyber, let's go back to what Neville said there. Neville says, it's God clothing himself in you. You see, I like it, but I don't. The reason why I don't like it is because exactly what you just said. It is a bit scary to feel like, wait, there's something clothing themselves, something's wearing me. That that can do something to you. It can scare you, right? So how I look at it is there's something around us that we don't see, but we feel it, which is the vibration. There's there's a vibration that we feel that is around us. It surrounds us like a womb, ether is all the names they give it. And so when you begin to feel that, you know that it's elastic. It bends. If it didn't bend, it couldn't take shape into whatever we create. So it is flexible, it is pliable. So it moves. When you move, you're moving with it. And that's what it is, right? I prefer that as opposed to something, you know, stretching and getting comfortable within me. No, no, I'm already in me, right? So that's the only reason why cyber, but I do understand the concept. Um,
Angela,
yes,
excuse me. I was just going to also add to what Oracle Tree was saying. It's kind of like um, I found that doing things that you're very passionate about, taking time out to do that, it helps you get in that meditation um, and also yoga, but especially doing stuff that you're passionate about, like you were saying with painting. Like I love interior design, so my mind goes. It's just so easy. It's effortless, and it's like no work at all. It's just like using your brain and your mind and your imagination.
exactly. Exactly. That's exactly it. And you know, again, what you do there is you know what you feel like, then you're doing what you're doing. But then when you expand from there, you've now gone into the law. Where it's like, oh, it's it just fully you just fully take over and do what you do from that expanded place. That's always going to be how it works. You get to know the feeling of you so that you can differentiate you from it. And in order for you to differentiate you from it, you have to experience it. You have to expand through to it. Mm. Um, that's waking meditation a bit like flow state. Yeah, he cut the sugar cane. He cut the root, he cut the top, he tossed it in the bin. In the rhythm. Oh, cyber, you've got a great memory. Because that's how my grandfather cut sugar cane. In that rhythm. When you go in the rhythm, you see the ebb and the flow. When you go with that and you feel it, that is law at work. Go with it. And Cyber also says, what exactly is that? Yes, it is autopilot. Autopilot is what you want to call the trance state, where now you see, again, you get in the car in the beginning and you turn on the ignition, you know that's you. But by the time you make it to your destination, where you've always gone, you say, oh my God, how'd I get here so fast? Well, clearly, you didn't leave your body, you were driving. So what happened? You expanded into the surrounding law vibration that is around you. That's what you've done. And we do it all the time, just like Zola said. When it is something you are passionate about, you are so fully immersed in it. That is, if you can tell the difference. A not just said the zone. That's my point. So, what is the zone? The zone is the law. That's what it is. So, you see now how meditation is this beautiful thing that we do and not a chore? That's the purpose. That's what it is. So, whatever that thing is that will help you to recognize who you are to such a degree that you can move between the two, between you and the law, then you do that. Because that is the meditative state. Man, you guys are rocking. Got me sweating. Because I'm warm. I'm all fired up. But this is the beauty of meditation. And this is why you want to do it. It is a pleasure. Think about that for a moment. If you are so you're so excited to expand, right? Do you think you'll have a problem not turning something off, not scrolling? Because it's more important for you to say, "Ooh, I love the feeling of expansion. Let me go there." And nothing can distract you. You think you'll be easily distracted? Never. That's the point. That is the whole point. Sonia. Yes, ties, tidbits. It's a vibe. Hear the word vibration. That's the beauty of practicing meditation. You go out in that garden and you dig and you dig and you plant, you dig and you plant. And you're like, where did the time go? They tell you time flies when you're having fun. Yeah, you flow. You start to move with the law then. Um, you see, that makes me wonder about Neville's God clothing you claim, though. It appears you don't have free will in the moments. It doesn't feel like me driving the car. I understand. K Frame, I see you. I understand. You see, it is you because it's you. If you get pulled over, who's going to hear license and registration, please? You will. But because you have expanded from there, that's why it feels all you're doing is feeling your body. This is why I wish we could see it. I wish we could see it. The movement of physical form moving through the ether. I wish we could see it. Because if we saw it, perhaps we'd grasp it more. Right now, we can only feel it. Like an image just came to my mind. Imagine, if you will, you're on the plains of the Serengeti. You see the heat waves that come off the ground? See those heat waves? You can see them from a distance. But when you are out there in it, you don't see them anymore, but you feel them. You feel it around you. That's the difference. It's going to feel different. It will make you feel like, well, I'm not really me. It's not that you're not you, it's just you in the midst of that heat wave coming off the Serengeti. Beautiful question, Nancy. Are we talking about our natural flow in the bigness of us? It is just that analogy I gave with the heat wave coming off the Serengeti plains. That heat wave is there. If you're at a distance, you're going to see it. You're going to see that heat wave rise up. Now think about somebody who's standing behind you at a distance. They're going to see the heat wave and you are in it. That's what they're going to see. You're walking through that heat wave. You are not going to see it. You'll feel it, but the person behind you, they're going to see you in that heat wave, that vibration. That's the closest thing I can visualize of that movement. You can't see it when you're in it, but you feel it because you've got skin, you've got form. So you'll feel it. You'll feel it. But be sure it's there. It is there, right? It's how the cheetah hides herself in that heat wave. It's the most magnificent thing I've ever seen. She hides herself in that heat wave as she hunts. So clearly, they know something we don't. She does because she sees that heat wave and she immerses herself in it and it becomes her cloaking device. How in the Sam Hill does she know how to do that? It's not a different dimension. It's just what's flowing around her that she can sense and she feels. And she moves with what she feels because she knows. If I move with this, I am invisible to the naked eye of that little hungry antelope. Is she meditating? Well, she's hyper focused. But that's what I mean when I say she moves within that heat wave. It really, if when you watch it on Nat Geo, you'll see what I'm saying to you. It becomes a cloaking device because you can't see her anymore, but she can see the antelope. But the heat wave is there. The vibration is there. And we move in it all the time. It's just that we are not aware that we're moving in it because we're only fully aware of our own bodies. But now, when you meditate, you not only become aware of your body, you now become aware of that heat wave rising off the Serengeti. And then you begin to move with it. That's what I'm saying to you today about the beauty of meditation. That's what I'm saying to you today. Yes, A not. The ego, because we want to understand. But the way to understand is to go through it, to feel it, to sense it for yourself. That's what it is. Oh, Nancy. She says she listens to me first thing in the morning for these energies. It, you know, that is the whole point of this morning's message. There is, I feel like a transformer. There's more than meets the eye. When we get a sense, think about what's happening. This is why emotions running rampant are a problem. Because when your emotions run wild and rampant, that's all you think you are. You're keenly aware of you. But if you quiet the emotions, you begin to get a sense of more. But if I keep you trapped in your emotions, will you discover more? That is the question. If you're just so caught up in your body and your emotions, then you can't sense what else is there. You must be able to sense what else is there. The law is there and it is around you. Learn to feel what it feels like so that you are always in alignment with it. What do they tell you? Well, you got to raise your vibration. How do you know what the vibration feels like if you don't have a sense of you? When you have a sense of you, then you now have to get a sense of the law and its vibration so that what? You can match you to it. But you've got to be able to differentiate between you and it, the law. It is always on. So, that is what I want to leave you with today. You guys got me all fired up. Bree, I see you. Ty, could the seeing it be equivalent to how we show up in the world when we're immersed or zoned in our gifts? Well, beautiful question. Yes. Because think about it. You show up knowing who you are, yes, in your gifts, and you move that way. In order for you to move that way, to know you also know because you have a sense of what? The law, the vibration around you. And that's how you move with it. You move with it, lean with it, rock with it. That's what you do. Because you are immersed in it anyway. It's just that we don't know what it feels like consciously. That's what I'm saying. It's there. We are in the thick of it. We're in the thick of it. But you have to know what you're in the thick of. India Ari has that song, Brown Skin. Uh, I can't tell where you begin and where I end, something like that. You have to know where you are so you know where it is. That's what we're doing. That is meditation. Ultra. I see you. Ultra's all fired up, he says. But I trust that makes sense. If not, hey, you can slide into my DMs. Remember tonight, what do we got tonight? We're feeling the thought. We're feeling it. Because you know how Neville Goddard tells you, feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled. What's that feel like? What if you've never done the thing before? How do you know what it feels like? You know what relief feels like. So you begin to feel your body, and then you begin to feel the sensation within your body of relief. That is what tonight is about. We only do it for like 40 minutes so that you get a sensation, you feel, and you begin to walk in it again. That's what we're doing, right? All day, every day. Anywho, Nancy, this was a wonderful message for me this morning, too. Because, as I say, it's something that is so taken for granted. It is taken for granted, right? But it is there. So the next time you pull up Nat Geo and you look for that heat wave off the Serengeti and you watch the cheetah, ah, in her cloaking device, it is amazing. That's why even the colors, the black streaks under her eyes, come. They all play their part. She just knows how to use it. She just knows how to use it. So we've also got to know how to use it. Yes, A not. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Right? That's exactly what it is. Free the mind. I love you all. Countdown initiated. You're offering people the opportunity to live as their natural selves. Geniuses, of course. You must. Why stay at the bottom when the top is your destiny? You know, I haven't said the name Emanon in quite some time. 5, 4. Meep, I love you. 3, 2, 1. Much love to you, Twitter. You know where you'll catch me. On YouTube, the last remnants of gravy from the bowl. Thanks for being here, Meep. Love you. Twitter is closed. Fan base, you guys have been beautiful this morning. Thank you for the love. Thank you for your time, effort, energy, and being here. Zola, Yolanda, Miss McQueen, My Melanin, Coco Love, and Oracle Treehouse. Thank you all for being here. I do love and appreciate you. Thank you. YouTube. YouTube. Let me pop into the chat because you know I like it. Um yes. Well, you see, Nancy, it is I find that people will do the work if they comprehend why. You know when you hear do as I say, not as I do. You know when your parents tell you that nonsense, I'm like, ugh. Hi Zola. You know when your parents tell you that, do as I say, not as I do. And you're like, what? What? And it has to do with the word disciple. Where is Mozinga, my resident etymologist? It has to do with the word disciple. The scriptures tell us to go ye into the world and make disciples of all men. See, now the word discipline comes from disciple. But what does it mean to disciple? It means to teach. It means to teach. You train up a child in the way it should go, and it will not depart from it. You see, we sometimes we want to throw a weight around. Oh, I know this, or I know that. But the point is, if you break it down like penguin food into its smallest particles so it can be easily absorbed, then the people who want to learn and apply what they learn, they'll change their lives. They'll change their lives. And that's why it is so important because it's how I learn. If I don't understand the reasoning behind something, if it doesn't make sense for me, it's harder to do it. Really. And so for people, if they can grasp that meditation and spending time in your own company, the purpose of it, the pleasure of it, if they can grasp that, then you think you'll hear these things like, oh, I got to take a social media break. They won't have to take a social media break. They won't become addicted to social media. They'll become what? Enamored with the law itself and wanting to be in its presence all day, every day, like Mary Magdalene when she broke the vial of perfume in that alabaster bottle. To do what? Wash the feet of Jesus. You know how expensive that perfume was? And that's not just talking about the perfume. The alabaster, alabaster is like, wow, so costly. And it was nothing for her to just bust it wide open and let all of that costly perfume run over a pair of dusty feet. That is what meditation will do for you when you recognize the beauty of it and why it is there. Cyber, that was based on a funkadelic song, I believe. What was his name? Is it Clinton? Is that what it is? Clinton? I don't remember. Yeah, same for Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like their name alone, the platonic solids, right? Earth, wind, fire, the elements, right? So Nancy says, in other words, thanks for showing up here and being an amazing message by sharing from within for yourself and us. Of course, it is always a privilege and an honor to do such. Because when I learn, I teach. When I teach, I learn. So it's like I can't escape it, right? it's a beautiful thing, and I love it. Yeah, George Clinton, because I remember the hair, right? I remember his hair. That's why I remember George Clinton. But that is the beauty of what we have. And I find that if we take pleasure in using it, David, hello. That's Zenobia. I see you. But that's what it is. Take the time to really and truly grasp why it is so important to know you so that when you encounter the law, oh my, lean with it, rock with it, move with it with purpose, not just being tossed to and fro by life, but moving with purpose. You bend. You see, that's the difference between bamboo and oak, right? The bamboo will bend, it will give. There's a time to be like bamboo, and there's a time to be like oak. You must know when. And to know when, you must know you. Because when you know how you will handle any situation. Yes? You will know when you look out into the world, you'll know, oh, this situation calls for bamboo. I must be flexible like the bamboo. You see, you're using polarity because sometimes we can be so rigid and stiff. Only one thing is meant to be rigid and stiff, but I digress. Um, Sometimes we're rigid and stiff, yes? But you've got to know when to apply a particular vibration to get you to bend and to be supple like the bamboo so that you can make it through any situation. But in order to know when to use bamboo and when to use oak, you must know you. That you have to know you. And meditation allows you to do that. It allows you to discover you, and then it shows you where you are in relation to the law and how now you can move with it and bend or stand firm in it. So then you will stop saying things like, I've been trying for months. I've been trying for years and I can't. I don't know how to do this. The law doesn't work. Oh. Don't worry. How many times have I said that? And that's why you've got to comprehend the law to begin with. It doesn't work for some and not others. It works at all times. Can you see it? That's why it's imperative that you memorize them. Mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, causation, gender. Memorize them so that you can see them. Because when you see them, now you can apply. That is why we do what we do. That is why we do it. Beauty Queen Onika, I saw your name slide up in here, but I didn't say anything. Normally I do. But let me just shout out everybody, and then we'll go. Anot, Cyber, Marjorie, The Better Man, Brian, Cyber, Ty's Tidbits, Beauty Queen Onika, Pens, Nancy, Asonia, K-Frame, Bree, Ultra, Zola, Synovia, David. Thank you all for being here on such a beautiful, beautiful day. And if I peek, I can see, yeah, look at that. Sunrise has happened at 5:30, y'all. The sun is crack-a-lacking. It is up and ready. It really is. And so now, to align yourself with rhythm, do your activities during the day. Rest in the ebb. Move in the flow. Oh, Anot, thanks for that reminder. Thank you for that reminder. For like, hit, share, hit the subscribe button, share. Tell your friends. The more of us who elevate to this, the more we change our environment. Because you are the one, the double slit experiment shows you the environment responds to the onlooker. If you're looking at something, it responds to you. What is it responding to? Your set vibration. The world around you responds to you. You mold and shape it. Right? That's how we create change, by knowing that. We influence our surroundings. We do. Whether good, bad, or indifferent, but we influence our surroundings. And so, oh, ain't not. Thank you. I listen. Love will do it every time. You know, every time. So that's what I wanted to leave you with today. Remember that you influence your surroundings. So if you want to influence your surroundings for the best, then be the best, because that is what the law is always asking you to be. Well, how do you know it's asking you? As within, so without. You cannot be mediocre and then create the best in your surroundings. You must be the best. So be the best. The best doesn't mean, oh my God, I'm such a loser. That is not the best. What is the best? The best is, you know what? If I put my mind to this task, I will accomplish it. There's no option but success. Well, how do you know? How can you say such a thing? Because I know if I plant corn, I have to reap corn. So if I plant success in my mind, then I must reap success on the outside. It's not my opinion. That's how you know that you are a success. So long as you know that you are a success, then you have no option but to be it. That is law. So today, we don't spend time beating ourselves. I'm not good enough. No matter how hard I try. No. What do you say that you are? When Jesus said, who do you say that I am? So who do you say that you are? Well, then, according to law, as within, so without. So if I say I am successful, then begin to behave like someone who's successful. Successful people, you are never going to see Jeff Bezos slouching in the corner. No, you won't. Maybe if he's inebriated, but you won't see him consciously slouching in the corner. So why should you? But Angela, I don't have as much money as Jeff Bezos. You think it's the money? It is his confidence. So you begin to walk with confidence, and do you think money will ever be a barrier? It can't be. Anyway, I shan't preach any further. I do love you, and I look forward to seeing you tonight. You check in the thingy, in my YouTube thingy there, and you'll see what time. I think it is either 6:45 or 7:45 my time, which is 9:45 your time, Eastern Standard, for feeling the thought. Oh yes, we'll hit the bowl tonight, the Tibetan bowl, and we'll begin to feel the sensations in our body. And we'll fall asleep like that. Yes? All right, my beautiful friends. I look forward to seeing you tonight. Much, much love.